I see, yeah.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the George Slick Fellowship Concert. The George Slick Endowment was created to honor Dr. George H. Slick, the superintendent of the Wallingford-Swarthmore School Districts from 1978 to 1996. This fellowship awards aim to recognize the importance of arts and artists in the integral part they play in the lives of our students. Nathan Sippenwell performs this evening, which is a culmination of years of planning and preparation. Before we welcome Nathan to the stage, just be reminded to please make sure your Apple Watches and cell phones and whatnot are off, or at least silent for alarms. And if you could limit the movement around the auditorium throughout the performance, that would be greatly appreciated for our performers. Thank you.
Okay. Hi. All right. So I want to say a big thank you for everyone who has taken the time to be here tonight. I'm so honored to be a Slick Fellow. This is such an amazing opportunity. This is so much fun. And so I've included detailed acknowledgments in the program, but I want to briefly make some of them from the stage. So in particular, I want to thank my two amazing teachers, Bill Wozniak, who's my orchestral percussion teacher, so that's like everything you've seen thus far. He always elevates my playing at each lesson. I know some people in the orchestra got to meet him. He's a funny guy, a lot of stories. And he always challenges me and encourages me to play more musically. And to Tony Maselli, who's my jazz vibraphone teacher. You'll be hearing some jazz later in the program, and he's a big inspiration to me. He's an amazing musician. Sadly, neither of them could make it here tonight, but I know they'll be very excited to see the video. Moving on to Mr. Perlberg, whose boundless enthusiasm for music, education, provided me with the best possible introduction to music ensembles both at the middle school and my time with him before that and after. To Mr. Pignataro, who has been an amazing teacher and mentor in all my endeavors at SHHS and outside of it, and he just brings endless energy, kindness, and humor to the job, and it makes making music at SHHS the beloved pursuit that it is. And of course, I also want to thank with that the entire music faculty of WSSD, as well as the many people who took care of all the logistical pieces for tonight's performance, including Mrs. Rogers, Mr. Shankweiler, Ms. Plows. I also want to thank the entire administration of the Wallingford-Swarthmore School District and Dr. George Slick. I want to thank Tim Bray for accompanying me on piano. You just heard him a couple pieces ago, and you'll be hearing Mike Maltese and Bobby Palladino later tonight for lending their talents on bass and drums, respectively. And I want to thank the SHHS Chamber Orchestra as well. You'll be hearing them play with me for the Sejourné Concerto, and they're really bringing that concerto to life. It's a lot of fun. I also want to thank my grandfather and aunt who traveled to be here. They would have been joined by my grandmother, who got sadly sick on the eve of their travel. Anyway, I'm really grateful to my whole extended family for their enthusiastic encouragement. And of course, to my parents as well, Amy Seppenwall and Andy Siegel, for their just tremendous and bottomless love and support. And finally, congratulations to the newest Slick Fellow as well.
Well, here we are, the 25th annual George Slick Endowment Celebration. My name is John Shankweiler, and I'm the co-chair of this wonderful program along with my colleague, Jennifer Rogers. Years of research in the arts reveal that the arts are closely linked to almost everything that we as a nation say we want for our children and demand in our schools: academic achievement, social, emotional development, civic engagement, equitable opportunity. Most importantly, the arts allow us to express ourselves and to be creative in ways that are truly unique. They give voice and power to our students and community that otherwise may not be heard. I am grateful that the Wallingford-Swarthmore School District community places such value on music and the arts as part of the education of our students. Tonight's program is one of our district gems. It is an opportunity for our most gifted and committed artists to share their talents and express their innermost ideas, visions, and emotions. It is great to see so many friends, family, community members supporting Nathan this evening. To see and hear live music is something that I know, because of the last few years, I will never take for granted. This evening, we do have the honor to feature this amazing, talented junior, Nathan. He is incredibly gifted, hardworking, and obviously committed. And in the busyness of preparing for this evening, when I said, hey, I'm going to play Timpani in the Mozart Requiem, he gave me a thumbs up, and that's what he did a few weeks ago. The George Slick Endowment was created to honor Dr. Slick, who was the superintendent of schools here in the Wallingford Swarthmore School District from 1978 through 1996. A gifted, dedicated educator and administrator, Dr. Slick helped all those concerned with our community to remember that they should seek to do what is best for the school district's young people, and that our children are both our responsibility and the future of our nation. Although Dr. Slick was deeply interested in all aspects of school life, both curricular and extracurricular, he particularly was interested in the visual and performing arts. The purpose of this endowment is not meant to champion one part of our school district's curriculum over others. Rather, its purpose is to recognize the importance of the arts in a nation that aspires to greatness. At this time, I would like to recognize and thank the following members of the Endowment Committee for their valuable time and expertise. Strathaven Middle School art teachers Brad Hosbach and Daniel Massey. Strathaven High School faculty members Kate Plows, Gigi Iannello, Scott Rogers, Steve Fisher, Nicholas Pignataro, Kristen Dunning, and Greg Hilden. And of course, my fellow chair, Jennifer Rogers. I would also like to acknowledge our appreciation to the Wallingford Swarthmore School Boards of Directors, our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Wagner Marseille, and our Strathaven High School Principal, Dr. Gregory Hilden, and to our Strathaven Assistant Principal, Tom McLaughlin, for being here this evening. Thank you for your continued and active support of music and art in our students' lives. I would now like to acknowledge the commended musicians and artists and the fellowship and grant winners for the class of 2026. I must say that reading their narrative statements reminded me of why we choose to immerse ourselves in the arts, no matter the discipline. I think that bassist and founding member of Talking Heads, Tina Weymouth, says it the best. If you have this passion for music, for art, you just don't stop doing it. It chooses you, and it doesn't release you. At this time, I would love to call up the students who are here this evening as commended artists. When I call your name, please come up. Careful coming up the steps, and then you can just, we'll have you step in the center of the stage to receive your unbelievable applause that you so deserve. Again, I was quite moved by their narrative statements. Commended artists in piano, Ted Dudley. Commended artist in piano, Andre Fan. Please come up when I call your name. Commended artist, Gianna Glico in voice. Commended artist, Eli Graves in two-dimensional art and mixed media. Commended artist, Ricky Heed on violin. Commended artist, Minori Saito on viola and piano. Commended artist, Earl Tweedy, two-dimensional art and mixed media. Commended artist, Josie Wieland, two-dimensional art and mixed media. Commended artist, Changgen Yin, two-dimensional art and digital art. Commended artist, Vincent Zhu, on piano. And the George Slick grant winner for the class of 2026, Brooklyn Taylor on piano. And the winner of the fellowship for the class of 2026, Casper Stockman on bassoon. Let's hear another round of applause. As they're getting their pictures taken, I just want to, again, they're putting themselves out through their writing and what art means to them. And as Henry Matisse says, creativity takes courage. Okay, good. And here we are, and it's going to seem like a snap of a finger when we'll see each other for the 26th annual Fellowship Recital and Art Show featuring artist Charlie Detweiler and musician Samuel Sentiment. Here we are on to the second half of this evening's program. Let's welcome Nathan back out on stage.
That was There Will Never Be Another You, written by Gary Warren in 1942 for the 20th Century Fox musical called Iceland. Once again, Tim Gray on the piano. Up next is Night in Tunisia, which was written by Dizzy Gillespie around 1940 and has become standard in the bebop literature. On bass, we're joined by Mike Maltese, and on drums, we have Bobby Palladino. Hope you enjoy.
Yeah.